Hey, I can't help myself. I am very hyped right now because Get Hype is now on screen. And in a minute here, so are we. There we have it. The first ever, I'll call it a pilot episode for Mr. Matthew Brenner here. But it is season 1, episode 1 of the brand new talk show, Get Hype. My co-hosts with me are going to be today Mr. Matthew Brenner in the yellow background. Matt is a former game developer and chair of the Philly IGDA, and currently a developer on Way Less Fun Things, which saddens me, but we'll get over it, I guess. If you've ever drunkenly played Erotic Photo Hunt, which I'm pretty sure everyone in Philadelphia has at least played once if they've gone to a bar, you've played some of Matt's games. He's been gaming ever since he could walk and currently holds the title of Best Hanzo NA. So, Matt, welcome.
Yeah.
You can't have the gamer tag if it's not true.
Can you give me a high five?
No, other way.
That side?
Other side.
No, I got him.
It's backwards from my...
Just yet.
The other way.
There you go. Hey. All right. And in the other green corner, we have got Mr. Ryan Hargrove, who is a business app and website developer from the home of Dunder Mifflin, who does make the best paper. And is continually targeted by Twitch viewers for his inability to land shots and solve puzzles without complaining the entire game is junk and servers are trash.
They're trash. Those servers are trash. They know it. We know it. I don't know why anybody's not talking about this. It's trash.
Servers are always trash. It's never the player's fault. So welcome again, everyone, for coming and watching. I am Poppy Sock 13 with my two co-hosts here. And what we're going to be doing for this pilot, and I'll use quotes just to reiterate the fact that Matt thinks this is a pilot, but it is the first episode of Get Hype, where we are going to go through and review games that we're playing, talk about updates. Hey, thank you, Sensei, for the host. Wait, no, I got to go this way. There we go. We'll go through Matt. No, not getting the high five.
I might host you at some point.
If you can figure it out, yeah.
Right,
so we're going to be going through a couple games that we play frequently and give you our opinions, as well as go through some updates and just kind of general consensus or opinions that we may differ on about those individual games. So getting started here, we are going to first get into... Hey, there you go.
You might want to kill your, kill your on-screen chat. I might just sit there for a bit.
Which on-screen chat?
The widget in OBS.
Oh, yeah. I'll grab that in a sec. It's fine.
Yep.
So we are going to first start off by going through and talking about a game that I know we have spent a ton of time on, and that is Fortnite. Specifically, we're going to start with Battle Royale. So for those of you who don't know, Battle Royale is a free-to-play version of Fortnite, where it is a, a survival shooter, third-person shooter? Is that the best
Last
way to
Man
describe it?
Standing?
Last Man Standing, there. That's a better name for it. A Last Man Standing third-person shooter. Takes after the PlayerUnknown Battleground style of play, where you dive in, and from there you will start just picking up any kind of loot you can find and fighting each other to be the king of the hill or the last man standing. I've been enjoying this game a ton, and of course my video is some reason lagging because I've had the website up for too long.
Well, let's just dive right in and talk a little bit about Fortnite. It's one of those odd games that kind of came out of nowhere. That some of us played the beta, some of us played once it was released due to one of our friends dropping a whole bunch of keys. But the PvE game, was what it was, and nobody really picked it up, nobody really got at it. And at some point, kind of close to the release of Battle Royale, Epic decided to emulate what P-Bug was doing and drop a free-to-play game on everyone. And I think within the first 2 weeks, mostly through Twitch, in my opinion, it kind of blew up. And now it's the between second and third highest hosted game on Twitch every weekend. And it's by far one of the most polished free to play games I've ever played. And it's just a fun time. I've got friends that, you know, haven't picked up a controller for a first person shooter probably ever, and they're jumping in and playing and running around and killing people. It's just a really, really good game to pull people in and play with. And when you get that 4-man squad going and running around rampaging, it's a really good time.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that it's the most played game on Xbox right now too kind of speaks to how easy it is to pick up and just kind of run with it. The fact that it was out of nowhere and all of a sudden everybody's playing it.
Now, is that just Xbox stats, or is that Xbox, PlayStation, and PC? Because it's available on all three consoles and PC world. So,
well, I know Xbox and PS4. It's among the highest played multiplayer games. PC, because it's not on Steam, it's a little bit harder to get numbers. And as you'll find out in this show as we continue going, we really don't know what we're talking about half the time. So, who knows what the PC stats are? Somebody does. We don't.
Yeah. They're out there. I'm sure they're out there.
Yeah, so if anyone in chat wants to find those and post them up, that'd be nice to see. Yeah, so my experience kind of going through the panel here of playing this game is free to play is always for me. I will try almost anything that is free to play just to see how in depth a game can be. And this game definitely gives a lot of depth in terms of just the free-to-play battle royale of you've got a ton of different weapons. It feels like every couple of weeks they're adding more in. They just recently added in the silenced pistol to go on top of what they added 2 months ago, the silenced submachine gun. And it just adds a new element to the game where you can barely hear someone firing those shots off. So it's a very stealth mechanic that they've added into a pretty hectic battleground to begin with.
Yeah, I give Epic a lot of credit. They built a really, really solid sandbox framework. I mean, like if you get into the PvE game, it's kind of, but you can tell that because they built a really solid core, because they built a really, really solid core set of tools, and built on top of a really, really powerful engine, they're able to push out brand new updates, brand new mechanics and tweaks and modes to a game much faster than anyone else. I mean, not even just in the battle royale arena space. I don't see any other game company putting out this kind of content this quick. And I think it's something really, really special. I hope they become, you follow it on Reddit and you follow it different places, and when you've got people making fun of Battlefront 2 for its loot boxes, and you've got all this controversy swirling, time and time again I see people on the Fortnite Reddit just being like, yes, thank you Epic, thank you Epic, thank you Epic, and they deserve it. It's really, really good.
Yeah, they're super involved too. Like they've taken everything and they've constantly updated to put it in. Like, what was it, the rocket bug, where basically people found out you could ride a rocket if somebody fires it at your feet and they're on your team or something, and they're like, wait, this is ridiculous, but they love it. Leave it in.
The Halloween update that made the rockets actual jack-o'-lanterns that you shot. The skin was actually large enough you could jump on top, and because of the amount of gameplay and funny videos they got from it, they said, you know what? When we revert back after this patch, we're going to keep it so that anyone can ride the rockets from teammates. So it's definitely, I agree with you. It's been phenomenal, the amount of feedback that the players have given to Epic and that they've taken in turn. And going back to what Matt was saying about them listening to those kind of adjustments and making as many changes as they see fit. I know, Sensei, you actually ended up having the, in the PvE version of the game, you had the inventory bug that basically wiped your inventory so that all those hours of grinding and playing, you had not a lot to show for it at that point. And Epic came back on top of that and gave you more than what you had back as
oh my god,
like,
yeah,
it's kind of like, hey, like we know we messed up, but here's something that that we want to keep you around, not knowing whether or not you paid for it or got, like you said, a bunch of us got keys from friends, so we've been kind of playing the whole series, both Battle Royale and the Standard Edition, for essentially free. which actually kind of brings me to another point of free to play. What is your guys' opinion on actually putting in some kind of actual dollars to, in this case, the money doesn't go to anything that can give you an advantage in the PvP. But what are your guys' thoughts on actually having that as a kind of standard for free to play games, that you're going to spend money on cosmetics or something that is just an added bonus to the free to play feature?
I think it's one of the best ways to do it. I mean, this game is the first game that I've really spent real money on things. I mean, we'll get into it later. We play a lot of Overwatch, and I didn't spend any money in Overwatch. Don't really care about the skins. I like collecting them. It's something to do, but it's not something I like need to spend money on. This game, I've spent more money on it than I probably should have, and it's been worth it. I mean, I don't mind if games like Battlefront want to put in ways for you to get through content faster. If people want to unlock stuff to pay for it, good for them. I don't really care. Half the fun for me is grinding. But this is the better model. Put in stuff that gives you a reason to come back every day and play, gives you a reason to want to keep playing, but it's not needed. And we'll get into what the Battle Pass is, but I think Epic took it a step farther than Overwatch, and they gave you a real mechanic and a real drive to play and grind out cosmetics.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I mean, honestly, too, the cost of the actual cosmetics, not too bad. Like they give you the chance to either grind them, get them yourself, or say you're not going to have that much time. What is it, $10, something like that for some of these items that they're dropping in there right now? They're switching their store constantly. They're giving you plenty of reason to actually invest into it.
Actually, I will say, I remember when the cosmetics first came out, I thought the skins were kind of overpriced. It was like $11-12 for a skin, and where the your V-Buck purchases went up at $10, $25, $50 increments. At that $20 mark, only being able to get a single skin kind of really bothered me. And I said, I don't think I'm gonna spend any more money on this game, because I don't really feel like I'm getting worth what I'm putting into it. Battle Pass changed all that.
Yeah, Battle Pass was definitely the right direction to go. But it was nice. I mean, back then too, they only had like 4 or 5 skins that you can buy, if that. They were just starting seasonal skins and all that kind of stuff. The store is so brand new. But yeah, the Battle Pass was definitely, like, I think if it does go up in price, like they're kind of advertising for next season, I think it's still kind of worth it. It cuts down so much of your grind.
Let's go into what the Battle Pass actually is. We're kind of talking around it.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's actually a great segment into another section of the Battle Royale that I wanted to get into. And so what the Battle Pass is, for anyone watching and doesn't know what Fortnite's Battle Pass does, is they introduce basically a season. As you can see on screen, it's between December 14th and February 20th, so it's still ongoing. And the Battle Pass gives you essentially a new way of unlocking all of your cosmetics by actually, as Matt said, putting a grind into the game. And it's actually not really a horrible grind where some RPGs or games in the past have been like you've got to put in hundreds and hundreds of hours to get anything worth it. They actually start you off right with this skin right here, this Night Skin. As soon as you purchase the Battle Pass, you instantly already unlock a couple of emotes, some skins, different items. And then what you're doing is you're going for some of the higher end goals. I think this Knight is the end all be all. Once you max out your Battle Pass, that's the skin that you get. So essentially what we're looking at on screen right now is this is what you see when you're actually looking through your lobbies waiting for a match to start. And so as you go through, you will end up unlocking not only your emotes that you can see in a few of these, but also you're going to be unlocking XP boosts. You're actually getting V-Bucks, which is a huge deal. And I kind of want to go into that right now. Is, do you guys think that if they do keep the Battle Pass going into a second season being the V-Bucks, is it worth going through and spending the grind to unlock enough V-Bucks during your season pass to be able to pay for the next one? Or is it just too much of a grind and you want to just, you know what, next time it comes up, I'm going to spend the $10 to buy the second season pass?
Well, the price of the battle pass it's definitely gonna double. If you scroll back up, it says it was at $9.50, and you can tell in game that that's definitely a limited time offer. It's gonna go back up to $20 or 1,800 V-bucks in game, or 2,000 V-bucks in. No, math is hard. 1,900. Jeez. So what that'll mean is if the rewards stay the same, you won't be able to grind a full season worth of V-bucks in PvP alone. You'll be able to get halfway there. So you have two options. You can either grab the PvE version for dirt cheap and grind out V-bucks there, or add money on top. I'd read on Reddit that the idea of V-bucks might go away for the battle pass, but I couldn't really find anything on that over the last couple of days looking. So I'm very confident that it's going to stay V-bucks and that it's going to jump back up. And I mean, it's one of those. So right now, it's like estimated between daily reward or daily challenges, and so basically you grind battle pass levels by daily challenges and by leveling up. And between those two things, it's at about 35 days to be able to get everything. So there's plenty of time during a season to finish the full level or finish a full battle pass ticket. And I definitely think it's one of those, if you're going to buy a pass every season, you may as well grind out every V-buck you can that you bought, so that way next season's doesn't cost you as much.
It's also, I don't think it's a deal breaker, too, if it goes to cash for it. I mean, what are we looking at? 1,900 V-bucks? What's that run? Is that
like
20 bucks?
Yeah.
And it gives you essentially twice the amount of XP you would normally get from grinding out just without it.
Well, it gives you that, and it also gives you a team XP bonus. So right now, like,
that's true.
The two of us have it. So like, I'm at like 110 XP bonus. I think you're at like 75.
Mm-hmm.
So it's one of those, like, it keeps giving back to you as you keep going, and it definitely doesn't feel like a slog, or it's not necessary. I think you can slide through those different pages there, Mike, and show the different rewards. Like you were saying before, you can get emotes, you can get dance moves, you can get pickaxes,
gliders,
you can get gliders and skins.
And also to add to it, you don't only have the daily challenges. Actually, just every level that you go up, you get an additional point. So the way it works is, you can kind of see here, you got, for every tier or level, you need to earn 5 of these season pass bucks. Either by doing a daily challenge of get 5 shotgun kills, and that'll give you 5 points. You can also, by just grinding out normal play, you get XP, and that'll level your normal XP up, which then gives you 1 point, I believe, per XP until you hit like milestones like 10, 15, 20, and then it'll give you like an additional 10
so every one that ends in 5 gives you 3 points, and every level that ends in 0 gives you 5.
Oh, okay. So yeah.
Yeah.
So just playing the game, even without having daily challenges to complete, you're still able to grind the season pass and not be worried about, oh, I jump in for the day, only grind out my season pass, and then finish playing and jump to something else. So they give you incentive to always be trying to play the game, which it's a huge incentive for me. I still have to get back. I'm a lot lower than you guys are. I think I'm only at like maybe season pass level like 10.
Well, if we weren't doing this dumb show, we'd be playing right now.
It's true. We'd be in there right now.
All right, I'm going to go unplug this computer, and I'll be back later. So I think Epic has been doing a phenomenal job with the free-to-play mentality of, you're not paying to win, you're paying for cosmetics. And as you can see, I don't think if anyone's out there and they are running around with this glitter outfit on the side here, that you're going to be camouflaged into any kind of environment around you. So there's not much out there that'll actually let you blend in. That's not a game mechanic, like the bush cover that actually turns you into a walking, talking bush, to give you that advantage of literally having to sit still, otherwise someone will shoot at you.
Oh, can I say real quick?
Yeah.
Love the fact that, so they did a Christmas seasonal event, or I don't know, winter holiday, whatever they call it, but there was like trees decorated in ornaments, and the bushes were decorated in ornaments. So that item that turned you into a bush normally also then became an item that turned you into a bush with ornaments on it. Loved it. Absolutely loved it.
Trying to see if they got a quick picture of it here on this.
I think the last thing to bring up is, like we said before, they're constantly adding new modes. You know, they went from their just solo games and duos games to squad games. They added a 50v50 mode. 2 teams, 50 on each side. Team damage turned off. All out mayhem. Then they added a high explosives mode where all that dropped were rockets and grenade launchers, and that was really cool. And I believe today actually launched the sneaky silencers mode. I have a complaint that it's only squads. I feel like it should be a solo mode, but it's a mode where silence pistols and bushes are everywhere. So I'm looking forward to getting to some of that.
Was that opening today or was that ending today?
I think so. I think it started on the 8th.
I thought I saw something earlier that was telling me otherwise, but yeah, I think I saw it either starting or ending on the 8th. I hope.
Click on the read more of the pistol update.
Where is that?
Top of the page you're on.
Silence pistol. Let's see. Nope. It looks like we just missed it. It's actually only going till today. So after the
I looked yesterday. It wasn't around. Oh wow. No, it was a very short window.
It was just a weekend.
I was on vacation the whole.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's why I missed it.
So we may be jumping off of this and starting up a stream to walk through that. So what did you guys actually think of with all the different game modes? What did you guys think of the real quick the 50-50 mode?
Good implementation. I think it needs some gameplay mechanic tweaks. Being able to spawn teams on different sides of the map, I think would be really, really cool, really important. Right now, you know, we always talked about if you are the underdog, you have more fun. So if people are hunting you, it gives you a chance to kill more people. But if you land into a town with 30 of your team and there's 10 of their team, you're gonna run them over, and then the rest of the game's just spent running. So I think if they added a way to split up the spawns and then kind of force people together in a more controlled way, you'd get what they had in the promo video, which is like giant fort building and back and forth fighting. And I think that'd be really, really cool.
I think
they need to and I think it needs to. I think loot spawns need to be cranked up. Balloons coming in need to be cranked up. Just
start everybody with material.
Absolutely, just pile
the storm already, like right from the get-go.
I think you have a much smaller playing field, just almost like an open field, kind of with some hills, and you already have 2 pre-made bases with a bunch of stuff, and then just little like almost kind of a paintball field kind of style, where you just have 2 teams. Just like you've got to go in, even almost turn into a capture the flag mode. You've got to go in and either kill the whole other team or go in and grab the flag and you win.
I have a feeling that the next update to come is going to be one of the next big updates is they're adding a new town into the game, and I think that if I had to guess, that kind of content push is something that was developed later in the dev cycle. So I have a feeling once they get that once that new town shows up on the map, that's when we're going to see some real big changes to these special modes and things like that. They'll be able to deliver bigger content, I think. That's my guess. I don't really know, but I have a feeling that kind of content delivery wasn't there yet. They can do minor tweaks in game, like move bushes and move some trees. They tend to do that every once in a while, but like dropping, like, because I bet if they put like bases in a 50v50 mode that maybe weren't destructible, that you could push and attack, maybe make it capture the flag, they could definitely do something really cool with
that. Yeah, it looks like they're setting themselves up to do some great stuff.
Yeah,
I agree. Now with that, let's kick it over, still on the Fortnite topic. Server issues that they've been having. I know I had jumped in the other day and definitely experienced a little bit of an issue trying to even queue up and some related to this server issue, which I also believe is relating to them not doing a really big update. Typically every Tuesday they'll push something new, even if it's just a tweak here and there, some UI adjustments. But how do you guys think? Have you guys read up on how they're handling this and kind of their mentality on trying to get these servers back up and running?
Well, I think it's time to move into the segment of the next 30 minutes. Computer science, because we're all programmers, and no. So I'm sure most of you have heard about the.
And there goes all the viewers. All right,
right.
Ending early.
You have a picture of Summit 1G on the screen. There's no way we lose viewers.
It's true.
I want to slap
it's
it,
true. Hey, That's just the ad. And I'm afraid if I click this button, it'll give me a virus and my computer will shut down.
Yeah.
So the long story short is that a couple weeks ago there was an announcement that there was a vulnerability words in Intel CPU chips and actually all CPU chips. But basically, the ability to flash dump the memory at any time exists. So it's a giant hole in CPU architecture, and it's going to cost a whole bunch of companies a ton of money, and it's this whole big giant thing. Fortnite pushed out a patch to their backend servers to patch the meltdown vulnerability. And what they saw and what anybody will see when they go to patch this was a 15 to 30% uptick in their CPU usage, which just then slammed the login servers. Nobody was able to get in. And it was kind of a known byproduct of what was going to happen. Like I said, computer science nerding out, but CPUs have grown over the last 2 decades by using speed over security. So you were definitely going to eventually find a hole in that system, and so we've been getting faster and faster CPUs, but they're not secure. You add a layer of security in, those CPUs are going to slow down, and it's a pretty big hit.
Which makes sense. I mean, anytime you have to add additional handshakes and whatnot to get things from A to B, yeah. But unfortunately, we're always gonna kind of try to balance that. We try to figure out who can get into what and where, and if we need to really secure stuff. So,
but in terms of Epic, I think they pushed out a patch. What was it, Friday night? And there was a whole bunch of people that were really, really sad Friday night. But by Saturday morning, they were back up. Servers were back up and stable. So again, it's just a tribute to how well Epic has built their back end. They've been rolling out patches to it for stats and things like that. And while the stats have been a little shaky, the back end services have always stayed up. I mean, you look at games that we've played like Destiny or P-Bug or other things that are rolling out patch days and servers are down and this and that. This game has been one of the most stable games I've ever played, and they continue to make it work, even when they're adding 30% CPU usage on their cloud servers. So, props to Epic, man.
Yeah, definitely.
Agreed. So, not to beat a dead horse too much here, but we're going to be switching gears over to another game that we have spent. How many of hours playing and grinding out, mainly because at one point I think we all thought that we were actually really good at the game, to find out that
turns out only one of us
is the best Hanzo NA. And that is we're going to be going into some Overwatch talk. Now I've been away from the game for a little bit now. Actually, I don't think I even qualified in the last season.
Season 6 was the last season we all played heavy.
Yeah, and we grinded that pretty well, where we were all pushing to help each other get into the next ranking and kind of level ourselves up. Matt being our pro here, I'm going to kind of pass it over to you on kind of what you're looking forward to with Season 8. Is it something that we're going to try to get the team to get back into and really kind of grind out?
Well, before that, I kind of want to go through Overwatch as a game for us. I think Overwatch has actually brought us together playing games more. We had played a little Destiny together. The three of us had worked together. But Overwatch was really where we started showing up together, playing together, and really started gaming together. And it's been a blast getting to play with everyone. And I guess so that's basically the backstory I wanted to give on that. And then, like I said, season 7 was our last real season that we got at it. I finished at like a high of 3650. I can solo queue up to Diamond, a soldier, and then enjoyed bringing everybody else up. What did you guys finish up at?
Which season? Last season or
season ever? 6?
Season 6. Oh, geez, yeah. Let's not talk about that.
No, not where you ended, but what was your high? Because that's I think the numbers that we were looking for. Yeah.
Oh, my high was like 3480.
Okay, I think my high.
Really annoying.
I got.
That's right. We couldn't get those last couple points to get up to.
Yeah, no. I think I got myself into like the 3100s, and then just started becoming too much of a grind of not being able to. We did end up having a decent team between the three of us and some other team members that would jump in with us and play. But unless the three of us got in together and got matched up with another person that actually got on comms. So for anyone watching, if you're playing Overwatch, go into team chat. I beg you. The game is built to work as a team, and if you just go in and flame on and say, nope, I am just going to be a toxic environment to everyone and do whatever I want because I watched a YouTube video of what a professional does, you're not a professional. If you're playing at my level with me, you are not going to become a professional Overwatch player in the next 6 months. So go into team chat, build the community better, and stop this just go in and just slaughter everyone with doing whatever you want.
So as you can see, there's a little bit of salt on the back of this because it is constant. Like we haven't even
scratched the surface.
Like Brenner and I just finished. Well, my placement. So you were one game ahead of me, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we just finished placements like right before this show earlier tonight, and it was. I mean, we got one person in our group 3 different times that refused to get in chat and talk to us and coordinate. Would constantly break out from the pack. Like there'd be like 4 DPS on a team, so we'd pick a DPS and like all this stuff. And some people just really enjoy playing that way in competitive. So you have to realize you're going to deal with that.
Well, the worst part is Mercy being as overpowered as she is right. One, when nobody picks her, I want to shoot myself in the face. Like, knock it off.
Yeah.
2, I'm a D.Va main now, so it's important to know that, that's why I'm repping. But I'm very, very aggressive as a D.Va, and not having a Mercy that wants to heal me when I'm being aggressive really grinds my gears.
Had to throw that in there.
I told you I'd get it in there.
You know what grinds my gears?
When that says grind my gears?
Yeah. Do we want to go through the changes to Season 8?
Yeah, let's do this.
So one of the big changes that came in this season was skill rating adjustments. So what happens now is what happened before was you used to have a very wide range of who you would play depending on what your skill ranking was at. With Season 8, if you're bronze through diamond, you're guaranteed to not play anyone that is more than 1,000 SR within your gap, which really I think is a great move for that skill tier. You really don't want people sitting at the high end of diamond playing bronzes. And as you move up, I think it gets even better and better because you get up into 500 SR for master and 250 SR for grandmaster. And for me, those master matches I think are really, really important to only have that 500 because trying to finish that last 100 up or trying to get up past master, trying to get through that last little ceiling, it's really, really annoying if you're playing grandmasters. If you're playing grandmasters and you're 35, 30, you're really, really frustrated by that. And then the second biggest change is, and which I think is a really, really good change, is the personal performance adjustments. So what used to happen was you would gain SR or lose SR based on your individual performance. And it was really one of the hot button issues and pain points for the community, I think, because you'd get people complaining about Mercy mains or really anybody that mains support because they could grind out more SR by playing well without having to contribute to as much to the team. So you'd see a lot of people whining, complaining about Mercy mains because they didn't have to work as hard, which I think is dumb. It's a dumb argument in the first place. But to alleviate that, now, once you get up over Diamond, there's no more personal performance rating, and it just goes to true SR gains and losses. Everybody wins, everybody moves up the same SR, or goes down the same SR, depending on that. And I think, more than anything, it's going to shut people up on the internet, which I'm always
It's always the better way to go.
Yeah,
just get people to stop. Stop.
Yeah, and I feel like over the time that we've played Overwatch, I was kind of later in joining the team and to playing the game. But when I did finally get in and see that this is another company with Blizzard and Overwatch, that they're constantly trying to listen to the community. And for anyone that plays the game, Jeff is always posting up announcements of what they're trying to change and what they're trying to do and why they do tweaks. It's not just, oh, well, we wanted to give Mercy another ability, so they just throw it in, and the next thing you know, it's like everyone's using it all over the place. Like he'll actually come on and speak about it on these long YouTube segments and posts of why they do things. So it's another great company and game that's really invested time and effort into making sure that the community is built as best as possible. The downside being that there are, because it is a very well played game, you're gonna still have those trolls everywhere that don't want to get in the team chat. And I know I'm kind of a broken record here, saying it over and over, and I'll stop at that point.
No, you won't.
No, I know. That's my biggest complaint. I mean, we do it every time we go into a game and we say, "Why is no one else in chat?" It's a game that's built around teamwork.
So you pick Hanzo, you don't get off Hanzo whatsoever, and then somebody gets in chat to yell at you, and you go, "Now I'll switch off Hanzo." You just stay in chat. You go back, and I swear I'll pick Hanzo again.
We had a question in the chat about Mercy. There's a pretty big patch right now out on the PTR for both Mercy and Junkrat. They're both getting nerfs. With the and we're gonna get into this next, but with the start of the Overwatch League coming up, one of the biggest pro suggestions that I've read going into Mercy nerfs was that her ult was too long, and so her ult's getting a 5-second cooldown or 5-second duration reduction, and I think that's a really good change for her. I think 20 seconds was just too long. She was too big as Valkyrie for too long. But the other changes are when you would ult as Mercy, you were given a free recharge of your res. That's going away, and I think it's going to be a good move. But because I don't think it's going to really change much of the playstyle of her. But not being a Mercy main or playing much Mercy, I don't really know what that means for people. You know, I feel like it's one of those people hit ult when they don't have a res, and so it gives them one, and then they get, you know, when they hit it. So I think it's just going to change the timing on when people hit it. The Junkrat changes his the radius of his explosion is going down, which I think is change. The bomb
That's only on the mine, right?
The mine, yeah. His explosion, his mine explosion was just too big.
Yeah.
And I think some of the damage is going down a little bit too.
Yeah, there's drop off, I think, for after, like, as the radius expands.
Yeah, the further away you are from it, the less damage you take.
Okay.
So I think those are going to be good. I think those are going to, you know, we'll see those come with the addition of Blizzard World, which I cannot wait for.
Yeah.
The callbacks to all the Blizzard games is great. And I'm in love with all of the World of Warcraft skins. The Deathwing Orisa is going to be so cool. I can't wait for this.
Yeah. There's a lot of good stuff coming with that one. So, looking forward to it.
It's definitely a game that you're going to see probably from the three of us streaming a lot more as we get into figuring out a schedule for us playing in Season 8.
Yeah.
And with that...
I mean, if there's any indicator of, like, how good they are with this, that's 2 changes for this season. That's it. Like, remember that it used to be you'd read a sheet that was balances, nerfs, buffs for every champion, every ability on that champion. Like, fixing exploits and maps, adding new things to maps, like Eichenwald, like where you can now go through an entire other part of the map that wasn't there before because the one choke was not enough for people to actually make it competitive. Like, and now we're down to they're reducing Mercy's ult, and they're reducing some blast damage on one of Junkrat's abilities. Like, that speaks so well to how active they are in addressing the issues that are coming up.
Yeah, they've definitely have tuned this over the years to be a very good working machine that is just... I haven't played, but I know Junkrat with the double mine laydown was a huge...
Oh, it's ridiculous.
The mobility is insane.
To bring,
so fun.
To bring it back into play.
A bad Junkrat's easy to kill as a ranged character. So a soldier...
Well, he's always been.
If he's big, all around in the air, he'll get shot. He's like a bad Pharah.
Yeah.
All right. So with that, we're going to jump into talking a little bit about the Overwatch League, specifically our home team, Philadelphia Fusion.
Well, click over to the stage 1. We'll go through the league real fast, and then talking about the.
All right. Here's stage 1, week 1, starting this Wednesday.
Yeah, so Wednesday night's the first night. Oh, I lost my odds. Hold on. So Wednesday night's the first night of the Overwatch League, and I'm really excited for this. I think it's going to be a very good kickoff into, you know, one of our, like, not one of the first big esport leagues. You know, you've got your Dotas, you've got your all your other games, but I think this is gonna be something different, and I'm really excited for it. But as you can see, Wednesday night's the first night of games. Looking at the odds here, You've got the San Francisco Shock and the Los Angeles Valiant going up against each other first, and the Valiant there being the favorite by with a 163 to 238 money line. San Francisco is not looking like a very good team, and it's unfortunate because I was really excited to watch them play. I think that they're probably going to be bottom of the barrel all season. The second game,
unfortunately, that's a trend with San Francisco sports teams right now.
That's true. That's true. The second game you got there is the Shanghai Dragons. LA being the favorite there is it's a good start for them. I think that the LA teams are definitely going to be some of the better looking teams in the league altogether. And so, I'm very, very excited to watch those LA teams play. The final game is the Dallas Fuel and the Seoul Dynasty, and that's a you have to put $556 on the line to win 100. That's how just favorite Seoul is. And I mean, if they don't win the league, that's going to be an upset in itself. But it's going to be a very, very good opening night for the league, and I'm very excited for it to get started.
I mean, how many more U.S. teams do we have to stuff into it just to make it seem like we're competitive?
Right?
Well, I mean,
So-
we got,
Like do 4 to 1.
Right? But the big name on here, like Mike said, is the Philly Fusion. There, the three of us are from Philly. We're all big Philly sports fans. Ryan's a soccer guy. Mike's a football guy. I'm a baseball guy. We all watch everything. But I'm really, really excited to get a Philly sports team. But we have to talk about the elephant in the room, and it's the fact that we haven't even played a single game yet. The Philadelphia Fusion dropped out of the preseason because one of their players had been banned for account boosting, and one of the players had been banned or was unable to get a visa. So the team just wasn't even able to get to the country to start the preseason games. So when you have to forfeit all your preseason games, you're really not off to a good start. And I've drawn a line in the sand. I want a Fusion jersey. I think they're pretty cool. Orange is my favorite color. I like the logo. I think it's cool. But I'm not buying one until they play a game, because I have a feeling that they don't even play a single game, and they could end up forfeiting the whole thing out.
so you
And
don't, you
what
don't
I
think
think
they're
is
actually going to
really-
play on Thursday?
No, I don't think they're going to play Thursday. One of these guys is going to get caught boosting or something and get thrown off the team again. And damn it, if they don't go out and garbage picking, field goal kicking Philadelphia phenomenon and draft somebody out of Philly, I'm going to be pissed. They need to get somebody from Philly. I want to go to an open tryout and be terrible, but get to do it anyway. I tried
I'm
out.
nominating Mark Wahlberg.
I tried out for the
can do it.
Philadelphia Soul twice, and I didn't make the team, but it was a blast getting to do it.
So for anyone on the Fusion team watching, I'll post up Matt's credentials and phone number to give him a call later and give him that open tryout.
Yeah, I'm
But-
chucking batteries at that opening match. We're going to watch it,
Exactly.
and I'm chucking batteries.
If the
Laptop batteries, though, because we know they're nerds.
So if and when the Fusion do actually play a game, my guess is that they're pretty much garbage. And I cannot wait to go true Philly sports fan fashion and just shit on them. And hard. It's going to
That's
be
true.
great.
That
Like,
is
I
a
can't-
tradition here.
Cannot wait to go full Philly on these guys.
So seeing more of these leagues kind of pop up, esports here to stay. Is it going to become as big as I say actual sports with physical running, moving, and stuff like that, or is it just going to be a fad that after a couple of years is going to go away?
Wave of the future, man. I mean, it was a $3 billion industry last year. It's going to be up to 5 this year, and I only see it growing with the advancement of the technology that we're. Just the way that companies and game studios are investing in both esport integration into their games themselves, but things like game battles being in the middle of Call of Duty. They want esports to be Overwatch having its pathway to pro. They want esports to be a core component of the multiplayer experience, and I'm a big fan for it. And I only see the production values, the tournaments, online, offline, the engagement, the participation going up, and I think it's going to be a key component of the success of multiplayer games moving forward. and the failure of it. I mean, if we get into it tonight, you look at something like Destiny that tried to totally change their PvP to be a esport ready game, and one, then didn't support any part of it to be an esport through any in-game tools, and then two, made PvP garbage and everybody hates it. So, live by the sword, die by the sword. But I think
the game was garbage and the servers were trash. That's talking about Destiny. No, I think it's growing. It's definitely picking up. I mean, we've had a couple collapse leagues already, but then again, so did MLS.
Right.
Like MLS is not the first soccer league that we've had here. MLS seems to be here to stay. I mean, the draft is happening this month. Oh God, in like 10 days in Philly.
Yes.
Esports, I think, is going to go kind of the same way. It's going to start kind of small. We're going to have a couple collapses. It's going to take that one or two different games, unfortunately, that's going to draw the people in. I think Overwatch could be a big one. CSGO was always the biggest kind of before this. Like any sort of Counter-Strike garbage game, like 1.6, trash. You still play it, you're trash. Just find a better game. There's literally free ones out there that are so much better. Stop playing. But like it's growing. I mean, the fact that there's now an international league here kind of is amazing. We don't have international leagues here, so that's so cool. So I think that's going to draw in money from other countries even who are going to be beefing up people, which is something that, I mean, we look at American sports, and since I follow soccer, I follow English league and the Bundesliga and that kind of stuff, and they have such a different system for their leagues that it's so, I don't know, it's larger. The scale is just more massive that it doesn't matter if it's just in like, I mean, we have Pennsylvania has 2 football teams. And we talk about that rivalry constantly. Everybody's looking for like the Super Bowl where they go against each other, and there's almost a chance
Super Bowl.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's so small in comparison to the fact that like now we have like, I mean, look at this. What is there? There's London Spitfire, the Seoul Dynasty. Like, come on, that's if you can afford those kind of teams in your league now. It can only get bigger from there because now you have whole GDPs essentially behind that league. It's not just one town.
And you can tell with the people that are putting money into it. You got the Crafts up in New York. You got Comcast here. The big spenders are ready to start. Same kind of money that you saw start the MLS up. Honestly, you need people that think it's going to be profitable and advertisable to work. And I think you see like E-League, CSGO showing up on TV. I think it was a big step for esports in general, and I think Overwatch is actually probably the next game that's ready for TV. They're right before the last World Championships or World Cup for Overwatch, they introduced new spectator tools, and so like you'll see when this starts, they have a lot better outlining of characters. They've got replays and dual screens, and I think that it's definitely going to make its push into prime time here real soon.
So how does a esport kind of keep going in terms of like we were talking about the NFL, the MLS? Those are sports that don't change a whole lot and have spanned hundreds of years. Like how does something like Overwatch, besides becoming Overwatch 2, Overwatch 3, like coming out with new games, how did they stay or keep a substantial league going outside of a 2-3 year period?
You're never going to be able to get to repeat what physical sports have in any country. Esports. For me, I think the real trick to esports is doing it like the Olympics and spending a lot more time focusing on the players and their stories, because you're going to build characters, you're going to build rivalries, you're going to build storylines through those people, and it gives a good filler, honestly, between the games. I don't think it's going to grow to this. I grew up in Pennsylvania. I was a Phillies fan, Eagles fan. I'm orange and black, blue and green through and through. I am going to be able to, I like the idea of the location-based teams in Overwatch, but like when I'm watching competitive Halo, I like the people that I like, not the orgs don't really matter to me. So good storylines, good rivalries. I think that's what keeps esports going as a whole.
Yeah, like Mike, you and I, we were doing DraftKings for the League of Legends World Championships.
Yeah.
And that's what it was. Like we'd watch a game and there'd be somebody who just like, oh my God, his play style is fantastic. Didn't matter where he was coming from. Like none of the none of those teams were from
Say hi.
the U.S. Let's be honest. I mean, everybody
Right,
was
oh
kind of
God,
falling
no.
apart there.
Oh,
But like,
Oh, there's Wyatt. Wyatt busted
What's up,
in and
Wyatt?
said hi. Can you say hi to everyone, Wyatt?
Hi.
All right, now you gotta be quiet. We're
Hey
finishing
Wyatt,
up here.
it's garbage that there's no Americans on the Philly team.
Come on.
it's true,
Yeah, he's got
Garbage.
pink on.
garbage. But yeah, like you find. I mean, even if you have you guys watched the opening ceremonies for the League of Legends final?
It's awesome.
Massive. It's filling a stadium larger than Wembley or like the London Olympic Stadium. It's filling something larger than that with just people ready to watch a video game be played,
Yeah.
which is insane. So
I mean, and I'll be the first in line to jump down to the Wells Fargo watch the Philly team when they're there. I'm excited for it. I hope it happens. It may not, but
yeah,
I hope.
yeah, it's yeah.
I just that's the only trouble I have is following the Philadelphia Fusion unless they start spanning into new games and having different teams per game and stuff like that. It's gonna be tough to say like, hey, like you were saying, Matt. It's I'm gonna be wearing a Philly Fusion jersey in 3 years from now, and people are gonna be like, what is that or what was that?
Yeah.
But to bring it back to the point, I think some of it is generational. I mean, that's the big thing. If you look at my grandparents and everybody like before them loved baseball. Baseball's not so much in favor with my generation at all. I mean, it moved into basketball faster than anything. Football is the big one right now for the U.S. But MLS growing, I mean, that had to start from somewhere, and it wasn't something that the generations before me were doing. But my dad got me into soccer as a kid, and then I started finding teams. Then I found out about the EPL and watched all this other stuff. And then I wanted to get more involved here. And that's what's happening, I think, with esports. I think our generation is going to be part of the start. And I think you give it one or two more after that, and it's just going to be massive for them because they're going to grow up knowing it's a thing. That's the biggest thing.
And I think, too, like, because I love... you look at like baseball back in the turn of the century, and it was people. I think it was players that people were excited about. And you look at sports today. You know, Steph Curry being giant in the NBA right now, I think is a huge draw to kids today, and that's why the NBA is resurging. Where watching Gretzky playing hockey, I think was a big part of of the late '90s. So I really think it comes back to, can you root for somebody in that sport and get excited about it? And I think where you saw baseball having these titans of sports for so long, and then the other leagues started picking them up and they started growing. That's where the success in these sports lies.
All right. Well, it looks like we're kind of coming to our conclusion here. So instead of trying to rush through, we did have on deck for Ryan and I to talk through a game called an early access game called Astroneer, but we will save that for next week. So I kind of want to do a roundabout real quick of final thoughts on what you guys are going to be playing and streaming for the next week before next week's episode 2, non-pilot, Get Hype. So I'll start with Mataber14. What's your plan on this week? What are you going to be playing? And throw out some of your stream times.
So first off, you can follow me on stream at Mataber14. I'm on usually from Monday through Friday, 4:35 to about 6:30. Get some late streaming in. This week, we finished our Overwatch placements. I'm probably gonna try to grind up to East Diamond, and see how that goes. But I see myself playing a whole bunch of Overwatch this week. My hope is to convince these fools to play some Battlefront 2. Steam. There was recently a Steam patch that came out to put back in multiplayer support, and I want to get back in and run around as a stormtrooper a little bit. So I'm gonna try to get some of that done, and then just keep grinding out the battle pass. Got to win more games. Gotta keep those wins coming.
All right, thank you. Sorry, I'm trying to
fight Wyatt over there
with some iPad issues as he's playing the. Wyatt will be playing. Here, I can show it real quick on screen. If Wyatt has been playing the Minion Run game. I don't know if that's actually going to capture. So that's what Wyatt will be playing this week. So actually, Sensei, let's hear a little bit about what your plans are for this next week.
Sure. So I randomly decided I was going to start streaming Rogue Legacy, and then my weekend was crappy, and I got to level 90 in it by accident. So I didn't stream any of it, which makes me a little sad. But also, I'm really bad at it, so I'm glad I didn't.
But that's the fun.
Yeah. Oh no, it was bad. Apparently the Xbox controller doesn't play so nice if you use the analog controller. So like you'd go left and then you try to turn sideways and you just wouldn't. So you just grind the other way backwards and get kind of wrecked. But I didn't care. I just played straight through. Was digging it. But to Matt's point, if people are playing Battlefront 2, the original, I'm in. Like I will happily play that. I loved the first one. I played the hell out of it. It's either that or everybody's been telling me, and I know this makes me super basic bitch, but I did not play Knights of the Old Republic. I picked it up. I have it in my Steam library. I've had it for
it's a must play.
months now.
It's a must play.
So I'm contemplating going back to that.
Bastard, man.
Although I can't rule out that there's a small chance I might play Gauntlets of Ire. We will see. When that
All right.
developer swung by and said, "Hey, you should play this. You'll hate yourself and hate your friends." I'm like, I'm kind of interested.
Yeah. That's it sounds like a good lineup for this week. I for myself as PoppySock13, I will be probably jumping into a little bit of Fortnite Battle Pass this week. I got to start grinding that out a little bit more, as we've got a little bit more than a month and a half left, so we're getting towards that halfway point for it. As well as I may be getting convinced from Matt to jump back into Overwatch and start trying. Yeah, I know.
So close.
I don't know if I'll do the Battlefront.
Debated.
Other games I've been hearing about the Rogue Legacy, so I may have to jump in, grind that out. But actually, I was really liking our last stream on Friday. Sensei, Diggs, and myself were running through Distrust. And I actually definitely want to check out. You couldn't unlock things in the co-op, but I definitely want to go back and check out the single player and see the challenge aspect of that. So that's probably going to be my lineup for this upcoming week. We're still debating on Friday night what we should be playing. So
we're not anymore. We're playing Star Wars. It's been decided.
He's playing Star Wars.
I'm playing Star Wars.
Those two are.
Zeke is playing Star Wars. It's Star Wars. Oh no, it's on the same.
All right. Well, if you want to come in and potentially convince us to play something else, click on the link down below I've got to Discord, and you can jump in our general Discord channel and talk to us on a daily basis.
You check out my link down here.
Yeah, check out that link. It's got to be below. It's got to be below the belt.
No, it's below the shoulder.
That doesn't count.
It's always been below the belt.
Oh, you get to punch me.
We all get to punch you now.
So for anyone watching, anyone that plays the circle game, this is illegal. And
are you literally explaining the circle game right now?
Yes.
Stupid. He's literally doing it above his waist, right?
Right. So now you're getting hit too. Just get us off here before we ruin
all right.
else's lives.
From everyone on the Get Hype team, thank you. We are signing off. Have a good one.
Peace.